Hey, ladies and gents, it's DeWiz coming to you with a review of Mythic Legions, Gryshaa the Slytherer. Now, let me read her bio for you. Gryshaa the Slytherer, seldom seen, rarely heard, and never touched. Some question the very existence of Gryshaa the Slytherer. If they could still say anything at all, the victims that have met Gryshaa in their last moments would confirm that Gryshaa is more than a tall tale, a high-ranking member of Skapular, the Cryptbreaker Sons of the Red Star. This stealthy and deadly assassin has the uncanny ability to seemingly appear out of thin air and a penchant for razor-sharp blades of all shapes and sizes. With so little known about this dangerous enigma, one can only be sure that Gryshaa the Slytherer is hunting you. That if Gryshaa the Slytherer is hunting you, your days will be short. All right, ladies and gents, I have to say this is one of the figures that I've been the most excited about for out of Advent of Decay, Gryshaa the Slytherer. Something just mysterious and captivating about her. The design of the helmet with that sort of Coptic temple, sort of Russian, I don't know, maybe vaguely Middle Eastern type of minaret helmet. Just very mysterious. And throughout the review, I will be referring to her and as a she. Not because I have any inside info on her gender, okay? So little is known about her, and she's such a mysterious character that we don't know if it's a he or a she or what. If it's some sort of metaphysical or spiritual or being, because in the land of mythos where the dead fight and ghosts can make up part of your armies, who's to say what this mysterious figure, what the gender might happen to be. But for me, Gryshaa is a she, and I got a couple of reasons for that. First of all, the name Gryshaa to me sounds feminine. Because my original language is Spanish, and we feminize different things, and we do that by adding an A at the end, like Latino, Latina. Latina is the female. If her name was Gryshaa, then I would, tend to think of her as male. So there have been arguments, and it's kind of controversial on the boards. What is she? Some people are like, well, it's the male torso. Well, hey, it could be a male torso. It could be a situation where somebody is hiding their identity and wants people to think they're a male, even though they're not. Sort of like a Mulan type thing. Like I say, plenty of women could fit into this armor. It's a very slender, sleek, sexy type armor, and there's no reason to say that has to be a man in there just because it doesn't have any obvious breasts on the armor. So that argument could go one of two ways. Nothing in the bio gives away the gender. There's no gender specific pronouns used in the bio, so I don't know. It's that doesn't really give a hint, and it just and then this is a character who's armored head to foot, kind of like Captain Phasma, right? I mean, how would you know that Captain Phasma was a female if you just saw her in her armor? The other thing about this character is that she's been compared to Boba Fett, kind of like this is the Boba Fett of the Mythos line. And I think that's an apt description because just of how beautiful the design is, how unique the design is, the fact that we don't know what's hiding behind that armor, who it might be, just the air of mystery and the deadliness. You can tell that she's someone to be reckoned with. I see her as a fighter who fights with two blades and two different hands, right? Also, it kind of also gives me that air, that kind of like sort of Middle Eastern air of that one guy in Game of Thrones. I forget who he was, but who ended up getting his, spoiler alert, head popped like a melon and his eyes gouged out by the mountain's thumbs. So anyway, if you're that far behind on Game of Thrones, sorry. I did say spoiler alert, right? And I usually say spoiler alert after I spoil something. So this time I did give you a chance to avoid that information. Anyway, she's absolutely beautiful, head to toe. The armor, the color scheme's unique. I don't know if I've ever seen this sort of, I don't know if it's a coppery maroon with purple and gold, and then the silver accents, and then this metallic blue. It's just super duper striking. Also love the cape here. I had to find a unique cape configuration for her just because she's such a unique character. I didn't want her cape configured like anybody else's. Look at the back here where you can see all the details painted, the straps, and then the buckles there with the silver. Just a wonderful job, and everything is sort of weathered. There's a nice wash on everything, and you could just see her sneaking around or on rooftops or under hanging out waiting to assassinate someone, because she or he is an assassin. She's part of the Sons of the Red Star. Other people are like, well, it's got to be female, right? I mean, it's the Sons of the Red Star. Well, hey, not necessarily. So, at least not as far as I'm concerned. Just because, you're the Knights of Columbus or something doesn't mean that you're an exclusive all-male organization, or that people even check your gender when you're a secretive, furtive assassin, right? So yeah, she's a mystery, and I like her that way.